Get your free copy of the complete tutorial at www.teachucomp.com/free.
QuickBooks Online Plus makes creating invoices simple. You can select the Create Invoice link from the Action column within your customer's page, or you can select the Invoice command from the Create menu. Either selection you make will open an invoice page. Here you will be able to enter all the information you need to send an invoice to your customer. The first option is the Choose a Customer drop-down box. Clicking this box will display your list of customers, and it also contains an Add New option. To the right of this box is an email box. If the customer you selected has an email saved with their customer information, this information will automatically appear within the email box. Below the email box there is a checkbox to send later. This will save the invoice you are creating, but will not email it when you have completed the invoice. The next area is the billing address. If you have entered a billing address for your selected customer, this box will be filled after you select a customer. To the right of the billing address, you will find a drop-down box for terms. This will be pre-filled if you set up default payment terms for the selected customer. You can also select Add New from this drop-down menu if you would like to add new payment terms. To the right of terms are two text boxes, Invoice Date and Due Date. The invoice date will be pre-filled with the current date. The due date will reflect any selections that you made from the Terms option. Otherwise, it will be set to the current date. The next area contains lines for you to enter the products and/or services that you are invoicing. The columns shown are product or service, description, quantity, rate, and amount. At the beginning of each line are boxes made up of dots. You can use your mouse to grab these boxes and rearrange the lines. This allows you to change the order of the lines within the invoice if needed. There are also delete icons which look like trash cans at the right end of each line. You can click these icons to delete a single line item. Under the list are two buttons, Add Lines and Clear All Lines. These allow you to add more lines or clear the information from all of the lines in the invoice. Clicking into the product or service column will display a drop-down box that lets you select the product or service to invoice within the line item. Continue adding products or services until you have completed your customer's order. Below this list, you will find a text box for message displayed on invoice. This will allow you to enter a specific message on the invoice, for example, thank you for your business. Next, you will find a statement memo text box. This will allow you to enter a message that will be displayed on the customer's statement. Directly below the statement memo box, you will find an attachments area. This will allow you to attach a file to your customer's invoice. You can drag and drop files into the box or click to open a file upload dialog box. Note that there is a maximum file size of 25 megabytes for any attachments. At the bottom of the page, you will find a cancel and a clear button at the left-hand side. Clicking cancel will close the menu without saving any information. The clear button will clear all of the fields but keep the menu open. In the bottom center of the page, you will find Printer Preview, Make Recurring, and Customize buttons. Clicking the Printer Preview button opens a menu for you to select Print Later, Print or Preview, or Print Packing Slip. Selecting Print Later will save the invoice. You will then be reminded to print this item within the Activities list on the home page. Clicking the Print or Preview menu choice opens a window that will display your invoice as a PDF file. Clicking the Print Packing Slip menu choice will use the information from the invoice to create an associated packing slip and display it as a PDF file. Clicking the Make Recurring button opens a Recurring Invoice menu. This menu allows you to create a recurring invoice from the information shown on screen. The first option is setting the template name. The next option is Type. This drop-down box allows you to choose Scheduled, Reminder, or Unscheduled. Selecting Scheduled allows you to create a scheduled recurring invoice. To create the invoice in advance of the date shown within the interval section, choose how many days in advance of that date you would like the invoice created and enter it into the Create Blank Days in Advance field. If you select Reminder, this allows you to set how many days in advance of the interval date you would like to be reminded instead. Choosing Unscheduled will place the template into the recurring transactions list, but will not create a schedule for the recurring invoice. The customer and email fields will be pre-populated with the customer information from the invoice if applicable. To the right of Email is Options. You can select Automatically Send Emails and/or Include Unbilled Charges if desired. If you select either the Scheduled or Reminder choices from the Type drop-down box, the interval section will appear on screen. Here you will set the recurrence interval for the recurring invoice. The first drop-down box under Interval lets you choose daily, weekly, monthly, or yearly. Depending on your selection, you will be able to set the day of the week, day of the month, or the month and date for the recurring invoice. You will then be able to set the start date. To the right of the start date is a drop-down box for End. This lets you select whether the transaction ends after or by a certain date. The third option for End is simply None. This option creates an open-ended recurring invoice. At the bottom of the screen are Cancel, Clear or Revert, Customize, and Save Template buttons. Cancel will clear the fields and close the menu. Clear will clear the entries. If you are making modifications to an existing item, the Revert button will appear here instead. Revert will also close the menu and clear the entries, and you will be given a warning pop-up box before the menu closes. Customize will allow you to edit the current template or create a new template. Clicking the Save Template button will simply save the template and close the menu. If you are not creating a recurring invoice, then after you have created the invoice information, you would simply click the Save button to save the information when you are done. You can also make a choice from the Save drop-down button at the far right to choose either Save and New, Save and Close, or Save and Send. Save and New will save the invoice and create a new invoice. Save and Close will save the invoice and close the window. Save and Send will save the invoice and email it to the customer's email address.
Like what you see? Pick up your free copy of the complete tutorial at www.teachucomp.com/free.